Tonight on Connecticut's news station, an officer-involved shooting under investigation in Colchester. We're hearing reaction from neighbors.
And local lawmakers raising awareness of the link between animal cruelty and violence. What we're learning tonight.
And a dramatic day inside and outside former President Trump's trial. We'll have the latest from New York.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Bridget Bjorlo. Glad you're with us tonight. The investigation continues into a shooting at a home in Colchester.
Fox 61 has been out on scene since this morning. Details are still limited, but we do know an officer fired a weapon.
Matt Karen is in Colchester tonight with what we're learning.
Well, we are here outside of the State Police Barracks, Troop K in Colchester. It's just a few minutes from the multifamily home where this all took place at about 6:15 Thursday evening.
It's quiet. Everybody's quiet up there. Never had any problem.
Until all that changed. 6:15 Thursday evening, a gunshot rang out near this multifamily home on Norwich Ave near Oak Ridge Drive. That gunshot fired by a Colchester police officer.
Saw some sirens, and next thing we knew, I guess officers had an altercation, and supposedly there was a shooting.
Police say officers were called to the home for a disturbance, and the shot was fired after meeting an individual. The wounded person and the officer were taken to the hospital.
Troop K is right up the street, so I mean, you never really have any problems. I guess you never know nowadays.
Investigators closed the road until mid-morning Friday. Tenants who live in the multifamily home did not want to speak with Fox 61. And because this is an officer-involved shooting, it triggers an automatic use of force investigation that right now is being conducted by the State Office of the Inspector General, who within a few days will issue a preliminary report and body camera footage. We will, of course, continue to follow those developments. Reporting in Colchester, Matt Karen, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Matt. Developing news now from New Britain, where police are investigating after a child was hit by a school bus this afternoon. It happened at the Creck Academy of Science and Innovation School on Slater Road in New Britain. According to the Creck executive director, the incident happened during dismissal, and school staff reacted very quickly to get the student to the hospital as soon as possible. No one else was hurt, and Creck is offering counseling services over the weekend and on Monday for anyone affected by this incident. We have new details tonight. A convicted rapist was charged with murder and attempted sexual assault in the killing of a visiting nurse in Willimantic back in October. Michael Reese was given the additional charges as he appeared in state court in Danielson for a related larceny and drug paraphernalia case. Police arrested him on those allegations as he was leaving the Willimantic halfway house on the day Joyce Grayson was found dead in the basement on October 28th. Officers say Reese had some of Grayson's possessions on him.
An update now on a deadly fire in Wallingford. We now know a third person has died in the fire at a home on Geneva Avenue. Police identifying the individuals as 24-year-old Justin Vernado, 19-year-old Charisma Johnson, and then 9-month-old Cayenne Vernado. Police say the fire is being investigated as suspicious, but say there is no threat to the public at this time. And turning now to Tolland, where a man has turned himself into police after he was accused of taking part in a street takeover. Police believe Jackie Haynes is the leader of a car club that allegedly promoted and hosted multiple street takeover events last May. He is facing riot charges tonight. Several others were arrested for their role in the takeover.
A woman faces charges tonight for allegedly yelling anti-Semitic and racist remarks outside the Jewish Community Center in West Hartford. Police say Beth Rosenberg was yelling in the center's parking lot. When police arrived, she drove off and refused to stop for officers. She was later found in the parking lot of the West Hartford United Methodist Church and taken into custody. Rosenberg had previously been issued a criminal trespass warning for the JCC property and was also previously arrested.
April is Child Abuse Awareness and Animal Cruelty Prevention Month. Now state officials are highlighting the link between animal cruelty, child abuse, and other forms of violence.
Fox 61 political reporter Emma Wolfhorst is in Branford now with the story.
Connecticut officials want to talk about the link between animal cruelty and domestic violence.
When we hear of issues of animal cruelty, there's also other things going on.
Lieutenant Governor Susan Bysowitz cited data showing animals were harmed in 88% of homes where a child was also physically abused. She says children exposed to domestic violence are 3 times more likely to be cruel to animals, and 75% of female survivors of domestic violence report their pets were threatened or intentionally harmed by their partner.
Sadly, beloved pets can become part of an abuser's coercive control over victims.
But the state is hoping to address this link by increasing communication between the Department of Agriculture, which oversees animal control, and the Department of Children and Families.
It's a really important conversation, not one of the most fun things that we have to talk about at the agency, but one that we're not going to shy away from because we understand the value and importance on the benefits and the welfare, not only the animals in the state, but the humans in the state.
A 2011 state law expanded in 2014 requires DCF staff and state, regional, and municipal animal control officers to work together to cross-report when they suspect animal cruelty and child abuse and neglect.
Pets are becoming these unwitting victims and silent witness to troubled households.
The state wanting to recognize shelters taking care of those animals, like Sable.
The Dan Cosgrove Animal Shelter in Branford has been helping homeless animals in Connecticut for 2 decades.
It's a beacon of hope for those furry friends and individuals and families in really distressing situations.
And as shelters like Dan Cosgrove continue to rehabilitate and care for these furry family members, the state wants people to speak up if they suspect animal or human abuse.
This administration has taken the position that every report and every allegation gets investigated.
Reporting in Branford, Emma Wolforst, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, turning to the weather now, and check out the scene captured by Sky 61 this morning in Middlefield, where the peaches, the peach blossoms, I guess, have bloomed at Lyman Orchards.
Wow, looks beautiful.
Yeah,
Chief
looks
Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Rachel, a lot of people planning their weekend. What can they expect?
I think if you have any Saturday morning plans, I would consider moving them inside if they are outside, or moving them to the afternoon, which is looking much drier. Other than that, we are home free for the rest of the weekend. So a wet start, but dry the rest of the time. Satellite and radar is pretty quiet right now. Well, we've got lots of clouds out there, and there is a slight chance for a passing light shower or a sprinkle as we head through the evening. But if you have any evening plans, I wouldn't worry about that too much. Don't cancel any outdoor sporting things either. Tomorrow, though, that front will get enhanced a bit, and that rain will fill in a bit more and become more widespread. Right now, we're looking at temperatures in the 50s across much of the state. Here's that chance for a light shower or sprinkle. Even this is probably a little bit overdone, seeing as there's not much on the radar. But look what happens. This is 6:30 in the morning, and we've got a lot more rain out there than we do right now. Notice as we head into the afternoon, though, we'll bring this out of here and we'll see a much drier day for part 2. Low temperatures tonight will be falling back into the 40s. Morning rain, some breaks of sun in the afternoon with highs in the low to mid 60s. Then we'll see some clearing as we head into late tomorrow night. After that, it is cooler but much drier for Sunday. We'll show you the numbers coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, former President Donald Trump is finishing up the first week of his New York criminal trial before he returns to the campaign trail.
But while his trial was going on, there was quite the scene outside. A man set himself on fire outside the Manhattan criminal court. Reports say he walked into a barricaded park right near the courtroom alone, took off his jacket, and that's when he poured gasoline over his head, setting himself on fire.
But the trial did not stop for that incident as jury selection continued. Reporter Connor Hansen has the latest.
A jury has been finalized, chosen to decide whether or not former President Trump broke the law and falsified business records. 12 jurors and 6 alternates were questioned by both sides before getting selected. Trump once again entering a Manhattan courtroom, pumping his fist. He stopped to say he should be on the campaign trail and complained about his gag order preventing him from speaking about certain people involved in the case. Trump has been accused of violating that order.
The gag order has to come off. I should be allowed to speak.
every time I come out to speak to you. I want to be open because we did absolutely nothing wrong.
Trump plans to attend a major campaign event in North Carolina over the weekend to make up for his time in court.
Instead of being in Pennsylvania or Georgia or North Carolina or lots of other places today, I'm sitting in a courthouse all day long.
President Biden spent most of the week campaigning in Pennsylvania, a key battleground state. He told a group of union workers there he would let Trump's tax cuts expire, one of the former president's proudest achievements.
This is a different breed of cat, these MAGA Republicans. Now they want to repeal the climate law that would gut all those new jobs and industries we're creating here in America.
Opening arguments in the trial are expected to start Monday. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.